The NBA is a super competitive league. There aren't many spots on a team, and even on the team, the starting five and the first two off the bench are gonna get the lion's share of minutes. But this is what bothers me when I see superstar potential being wasted, because the best way to get better at basketball is just by playing basketball and getting more minutes. I think practice is one thing, but playing in an actual NBA game is completely different. And sometimes the team is contending, so it's not really their fault if they want to get a good seed, but sometimes teams are just dumb and they're wasting the players' time. So here are three people that I think either need to get significant increase in minutes or teams just need to trade them away to a team that will play them. Starting off with the first person, we're going to be talking about Bol with the Denver Nuggets. And if you guys have been seeing highlights of him so far, most of these from his time in college, and that's a good indication that he needs more minutes because highlights are really hard to come by. And it's really hard to compare Bol to someone because he's just a freak of nature. He's 7 foot 2 inches tall and has absolutely dominated in his high school days and really showed his abilities with his one season at Oregon. Not even a full season. He came down with an injury which only compounded teams' worries with his frame and durability. And this is how he landed with the Nuggets with the 44th pick when he was seen as a top 5 pick before the injury. The Nuggets can do this because they already have a very solid and deep team, and they can use their picks with a little bit more risk in it because if it's amazing, if it works out, and if it doesn't, it's still okay. This is how they got MPJ later, RJ Hampton, just because of injuries or just needing time to develop. The Nuggets say, we're good, we have a good team, we'll take the time to develop them or take the risk. And I've never seen a player quite like Bol. I mean, he's quite significantly less athletic than KD, but he is taller with a similar frame, and in his second year with the Nuggets, he's only averaging 5 minutes a game. This isn't really any fault to the Nuggets because they're trying to get a high playoff seed and they aren't really in the mode for developing right now. And if he did develop like MPJ did, I'm sure he'd be playing the same. But I really just want to see what kind of player Bol can be. And I think if he becomes the main focus of a young team where he's like their project like Giannis was for the Bucks, and he can start getting 18, 20 minutes, maybe even more, put on the weight, all the stuff that Giannis did. He has all the athleticism and amazing touch on his shot. He's a career 51% from the field and averaging 50% from 3 this year. He's just one of those guys that has no limit to how good he can really be, but he just isn't ready to be a contributor on a contending team right now, so I think the Nuggets in this case need to move on from him and let him shine somewhere where he will be able to play. The next player we're going to be looking at is Obi Topping with the Knicks, and unlike the Nuggets situation, the Knicks are not contenders, but for some reason the Knicks have a season where they're just over 500 and they don't feel like they need to develop all their young talent anymore. Obi Toppin was taken with the 8th overall pick, and he's had a really hard time getting quality minutes because he plays a very similar role to Julius Randle, but Julius is obviously a lot more experienced and just better at this point. Obi also gets a lot of criticism because he also isn't the most productive rookie on the team. The Knicks are super high on Emmanuel Quickley, who they got with the 23rd overall pick in last year's draft. But to me, Obi Toppin deserves a place on this list because he has some elite traits and he just needs to be tuned to the NBA game. He can just attack the defense when he gets into transition and just plays the baseline very well in the half-court set, which you don't see too often, but he's very good at, if you can see in some of these highlights. He already has great size and amazing bounce for his size, and he can be a great starter for the Knicks. And unlike the Nuggets, I don't think the Knicks should trade him away. I just think they need to trust him with more minutes because being 24 and 23 is good and all, but this is still a team that is geared for the future, and you can't give up on the 8th overall pick that fast. And if you can and you're ready to, then you really need to spend more time analyzing what kind of players you need on your team or what kind of players you think they can be. And the third player we're going to be looking at is Terrence Mann. And if you have watched any Clippers games recently, you have definitely noticed Terrence Mann. He's also one of the people that fits on this list, kinda, because he has been getting a lot more minutes recently, but he's been going off. But he's getting minutes by force, kind of, and they're trading away Lou Williams, Pat Beverly's being hurt. So this one's on the Clippers, a public service announcement. When Rondo and Pat Bev are able to play, you need to find a way to get this man minutes. No pun intended. He is all over the court and just makes plays. He is such an annoyance on defense, and he pushes the pace like nobody else really does on the Clippers, and he's just super crafty at finishing around the rim, and most importantly, good things just happen when he's on the court. He has this energy about him that's just so contagious, and it's something the Clippers desperately need with their vocal leader Pat Bev being out. But in my opinion, Terrence Mann has Pat Bev's intangibles, but with a lot more athleticism and just kind of natural raw skill for the game. Obviously not as developed as Pat Bev is, a veteran of this game, but I think Terrence Mann, they really need to start developing him, especially to have a deep playoff team. We can go over his recent games and look at some of his stats, but he's had some like 20 and 10 like games, but his plus minus is really the best indicator of good things just happening when he's out there. In his last 6 games, he's getting around 30 minutes a game, which is almost double what he normally gets. In this stretch, they're 6-0, and he has a plus minus of plus 12, 23, 18, 15, 5, and 19. He's a guy that just makes all the right plays, and I'm sure this was a very pleasant surprise to the Clippers when he made his jump for his second year with them. But Clippers, please keep playing him and giving him quality minutes even when these people come back. But let me know what you guys think. Would you guys put anyone else in this list? These are just the 3 main ones, and I kind of like how there's one needs to be traded, one needs to just step up, and one needs to keep getting higher minutes when other people come back. So kind of get a little bit of everything with this one. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, who else should be on this list? I could think of a few more, but these were most definitely the 3 most deserving. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see content like this every single day, don't be shy, don't be afraid, hit the subscribe button. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.